Why, what's going on, guys? My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. And this is my usual truck dump, but I'm friggin' irritated today. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to vent to you guys, and if you guys want to hear it, listen. If you don't, shut it off. But I will be doing the pocket dump as soon as this is done. But this day has been goofy, okay? So, I'm going to readjust this here. So, I wake up, and I hear like this heavy breathing. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, I sleep on the couch a lot of the days because A, I snore really loud and my wife wants to punch me in the face. And B, we have a 2-month-old child that we like split. So some nights I'll take him, some nights she'll take him. So it's just kind of like, and I get to watch my TV and stuff. You know, don't get me wrong, we don't sleep apart every night, but so I wake up and I'm hearing this heavy breathing, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I hear something slam in the sink, and I'm like, damn, dude, my wife is like going hard in the paint this morning. She don't give a shit if I'm sleeping. Well, the heavy breathing was my son. Today was the first day that my son got out of bed and figured out how to open up his door, but he was quiet. But he's congested right now, so he's like, right? And I can't see him, but I can hear him. So for like 30 minutes straight, I laid on the couch, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Anyways, that was fun. So we got up, we went out and got breakfast with the family and whatnot. It's kind of cool. That wasn't the irritating part. My wife goes for a run. I got both kids. One kid starts crying, the other one starts crying. I'm just trying to take a number 2. And you gotta keep getting up to like take care of the kid. It was not cool. You don't mess with a man's number 2. So that happens. Yeah, mow the yard, do some yard work, no big deal. In the meantime, I'm posting knives on Reddit, and I'm trying to sell some knives. So anyways, I'm posting on Reddit, and I'm trying to sell this shit. And so I dropped my price in the original post by like $10. I don't get any bites, so I repost it for another $10 drop. I didn't repost the first one though, I just edited. So that repost gets deleted, and I'm like, what the shit? In the meantime, somebody already bought a knife, like in between like me posting it and them deleting it. So they're like, what happened to the post? So I repost it, and I see that they were ticked that I didn't drop it by 10%. Because they have a rule, it's knife swap. You have to drop by 10% or $25. So I reposted again and dropped it 10% of my original price because I wasn't ready to take a $10 and then 10% of that $10 drop. Like that's like you're selling knives for like pennies on the dollar. Like, you know, you would almost rather keep them at that point. So another person buys another knife, and then they cancel my post again. So out of frustration, I write the moderators and I go, hey, you guys canceled my post twice. This last one was 10% off of the original price. What the, or WTF? And they wrote back, it has to be 10% off of the posted price. So they were going off of my dropped price in the original post that wasn't reposted, which it's all semantics. I see their point. And then they said, if you want to participate here, act like an adult. Come on. Like, you deleted my post twice, so I put WTF. That's all I put. I wasn't like flaming anybody or anything, right? The whole thing wasn't in all caps. And I'm just like, no, act like an adult. That's like one of those statements where you just want to punch somebody in the neck. So I had this whole thing written out, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to get booted from Knife Swap. The moderator's going to kick me out after this. So I was like, they're right. Act like an adult. So I asked a question. I was like, legitimately, I dropped my price in the original post to see if there were any bites. So then I took 10% off of the original post. And they're like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. So we kind of had a back and forth, but in the end, they basically said, look, you benefit more from not dropping your price in the original post than just reposting, which is a valid point. So I end up appreciating the amicable solution. So that all happens. I sold a knife. I ran to the post office on the way to work. They have these 2 little spots right in front of the office, and then they have like all these spots right next to it. But it's not a huge post office, so it's not like it's like a massive area. Well, I have everything ready. I run in there, I drop it off, and on the way out, this old lady walks by me, and she's looking at me, so I look at her and I'm like, hello. You know, anytime somebody makes eye contact, I always say hi. It just feels natural, and it's also less awkward. And she doesn't say hi, she puts her head down, and then after I pass her, she goes, you took up 2 spots. And I'm like, what? And I look at my truck, and yes, parked right in front of the building, it was 2 spots. I was in and out, there's no excuse in it, but the spots were small, you know, make your insert excuse here, whatever. I shouldn't have taken up 2 spots, but I'm like, God, the way you approach people is all the difference on what kind of response you're going to get back. Act like an adult, or if you want to participate here, act like an adult. Yes, I said WTF, but it was kind of like in internet lingo and texting lingo, it's like, what the hell happened there? WTF. Like, it's not meant to be like, what the fuck? You know, so it's like, and then that lady makes eye contact, turns away, and then goes, you took up 2 spots. I'm like, oh, and then all you can do is laugh about it. Actually, I am laughing about it to the point where it's like, it doesn't make my day worse. It actually kind of makes me laugh a little bit. So anyways, moving on. Wet Wednesday. And I haven't, so 2 things too. I haven't responded to a lot of your guys' comments. You guys know I do that in batches. I do read them all. Every single comment I read, and every single comment, unless you're a dick, I will respond to. And sometimes if you're a dick, I get goaded into responding too. But I will respond to them, and I have already read them. I usually take about an hour or 2, and I sit down in front of a computer and respond to everybody's. And I try to make it personable. That's why I don't respond right away with like, hey, thanks. Most of the time I try to give some thought into the response. B, I know I owe 2 things. I owe you guys a CJRB RIA in carbon fiber giveaway. That video was posted like 3.5 to 4 weeks ago, and I keep forgetting that it existed. So I'm going to be working on that probably this Saturday. Along with, in the same video, I'm going to be doing the Patreon giveaway for the Civivi Perf. If you guys want to get in on the Civivi Perf, you know, you got a little bit of time for the Patreon. Then again, you were supposed to be a part in August, so I don't really want to take it away from who's in there already. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But I will be drawing names for the Civivi Perf on Saturday. I do a giveaway every other month, and I try to use like 110% of 1 month's funds as the baseline price for the giveaway. Yeah, I figured it's better than doing a giveaway every month where you're giving away like, you know, 60% of the proceeds go to the giveaway, and then you're getting like a $30 knife. Like, you know, I'd rather give away a little bit more. All right, so today's pocket dump. Today is Wet Wednesday, so you're supposed to bring things that do not corrode, that are going to be fine in the water. You know, I don't really have any of those, so I had to make do with what I currently have. Now, this first one is counterintuitive. This is my CJRB Razzlecliff. Totally not stain resistant. This is probably like 8CR. Doesn't say. I think it's 8CR or even 7CR. Stainless steel handles, which probably not that stainless. I don't know. This is not corrosion resistant at all, and it doesn't seem to follow the rules of Wet Wednesday. But if I were to have to go get wet and I was carrying a 5th pocket knife, this is the one that I would carry because I don't give a damn if it gets wet. If this thing goes bad, I don't care. I will either write it off as a loss for $26 or go out and buy another one. I probably wouldn't buy another one if I lost it. I like it, but I don't like it that much. So this is kind of like the Wet Wednesday. I don't give a damn that I'm getting wet. If this gets ruined, it gets ruined. So be it. That's why I chose to carry this. I could have carried some other ones, but I didn't want to kind of I didn't have anything that was extremely corrosion resistant as a 5th pocket knife. I have some titanium stuff, you know, with the M390, which is kind of what my main one is. I don't have anything that's fully rust proof or corrosion proof right? I used to have the Spidey Chef, but, you know, I traded that to, or I sold that to Ryan, I think, my buddy Ryan. I sold him the Spidey Chef, so that would have been my only fully rust preventative knife. All right, so if I was going to get wet, I took a magnet to this knife, and it's got some steel on it, but not that much. So if I was going to get wet and I was worried about corrosion resistance, what would I take? I would take my Hinderer XM18 skinny sheep's foot. You guys already know that this is my baby, A. B, this is M390, so it's going to be as corrosion resistant as you really can get without being like, you know, what are they? LC200N Vanax or H2 or whatever that one is. That sucks, but it's corrosion resistant, you know. So that's what the blade is. There's a little bit of hardware on here that, you know, that could take corrosion, so I would oil it first. But this side is titanium. The pocket clip is titanium. Most of the hardware is titanium. This side is going to be carbon fiber, which one day I will get a titanium scale. Didn't even realize they dropped and they were all sold out when I was just like perusing through a site. And I'm like, actually, I think the scale is going to get changed out soon. Kind of getting bored of it. But not getting bored of this knife. Love this knife. I think this is a perfect knife to carry, unless I'm in like salt water. If I was in salt water, then, you know, I don't know that I have a knife that I would carry. I'd probably carry one of my fixed blades, because I give a little less damn about fixed blades, and it's just to have a knife on you. So that is all I got for you guys today. Tomorrow is Thursday, so give me a second. So tomorrow, it's going to be This Knife Thursday. All right. So for This Knife Thursday, what I'm going to request is that whatever this knife is, and this knife is your knife. This is the knife that if you had to choose out of all the knives that you had, now, I understand that changes on a daily basis, right? Like there's sometimes like this is my this knife sometimes. And then other times, you know, I got some other ones and I'm like, this knife. So whatever you're feeling that day, but this knife is my one and only if I had to choose. So when you wake up, you go to pick your knife, go over to your knife stuff and say, if I had to get rid of every one except one, which one would I carry? You could do that for a fifth pocket knife too. So if you had to choose a fifth pocket knife, that's how you're going to go. Now, again, if we were to do this every day of the week, it might change because, you know, you wake up, sometimes you're feeling this, sometimes you're feeling that. I understand that. It's not like there's super strict rules to this. I'm not going to ban you from the knife swap for reposting without 10% off on your second price reduction. Salt. All right, guys. My name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great freaking day.